What if I told you that the unicorn isn't just a fairy tale horse, but a creature that appears in legends from Europe, China, India, and even the Middle East? The unicorn across cultures. The unicorn is one of the most famous mythical creatures, usually imagined as a horse-like being with a single horn on its forehead. While it is most strongly associated with medieval Europe, many cultures have their own versions of one-horned mythical beasts. The symbolism of the unicorn differs depending on where the legend appears. 1. European unicorn. In Europe, the unicorn is usually depicted as a graceful white horse or goat with a long, spiraled horn. Medieval Christian symbolism. The unicorn was linked with purity and innocence. Medieval bestiaries described it as a creature that could only be captured by a virgin, representing the purity of the Virgin Mary. Healing powers. Its horn, called the alicorn, was believed to cure poison and disease. Nobles and kings often kept narwhal tusks, believing them to be unicorn horns with magical properties. Heraldry. In the Middle Ages and Renaissance, the unicorn became a powerful emblem. The most famous example is the unicorn in the royal coat of arms of Scotland, symbolizing strength and purity. 2. Chinese Qilin. In China, a similar creature exists called the Qilin. While not exactly the same as the European unicorn, it shares symbolic traits. Appearance. Often described as having the body of a deer or horse covered in scales with a single horn or antler. Meaning, the Qilin is a gentle, auspicious creature associated with peace, prosperity, and the arrival of great leaders or sages. Cultural role. Legends say a Qilin appeared before the birth or death of Confucius, marking his importance. Unlike the European unicorn, the Qilin is not hunted or feared but deeply revered. 3. Japanese Kirin. Japan adopted the Qilin concept, calling it the Kirin. Appearance. More stylized, often shown with dragon-like features. Symbolism. Considered a divine beast, it represents justice and wisdom. It is said to never harm even the smallest insect. Modern influence. The Kirin remains a popular cultural symbol in Japan today, even lending its name to a famous beer brand. 4. Indian and Persian traditions. Ancient India and Persia also had references to one-horned creatures. In Sanskrit texts, there are mentions of a one-horned wild ass called Shringa, sometimes associated with power and ferocity. Persian art also features single-horned animals, blending the idea of divine strength with exotic creatures possibly inspired by rhinoceroses. 5. Middle Eastern accounts, travelers' tales in the Islamic world, describe unicorn-like creatures, often mixing fact and myth. Some medieval Arab writers described the unicorn as a strong beast able to kill elephants, while others treated it as a symbol of purity and divine protection. These stories were likely inspired by sightings of rhinoceroses or oryx. Common themes. Despite cultural differences, unicorns and their counterparts share a few recurring themes. 1. Purity and innocence. Europe emphasized virginity and moral purity. Wisdom and good fortune. In Asia, the Kirin embodies harmony, prosperity, and peace. 3. Mystical power. The horn is universally seen as a source of great magic, whether healing, protection, or strength. Conclusion. The unicorn is not just a European fantasy, but part of a much wider family of one-horned creatures found in world mythology. From the pure white unicorn of Europe to the dragon-like Kirin of Japan and the auspicious Qilin of China, this mythical animal has always represented ideals beyond the ordinary: purity, prosperity, and the extraordinary power of the unseen world.